plugins, nodes, and then also credentials we do here, and also whatever the users that we gonna give, and also we do have security. So these things we do it in the Jenkins administrator level. Okay, so suppose if you are joined a new organization, suppose if you get a task on to work on the Jenkins administrator, apart from the job configuration, creating pipelines, creating freestyle jobs, creating pipeline jobs, creating multi branch pipelines. So this is basically on the administrator part. Am I audible clearly for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So under system, so we go here, we updated the IP address, right? And we here we can see the Jenkins home directory, and then here we see number of executors. Okay. So as I was asking question on yesterday, number of executors, two jobs can run parallelly, one on Java and one on CMake, right? That is the reason we define the number of executors. This hash represents number of executors. Okay, and here we use this node as much as possible. Okay, and the computer retention is 60, wait period is 5. There are some other requirement also we see in the manage Jenkins under system. Okay, again I'll move to the manage Jenkins. So here we suppose if you want to remove or if you want to install a plugins, we go here in the plugins section, right? And that's what we discussed. And suppose when we want to add a new node here, suppose when you created a new server, and that server to be connected to the master, and we are aware of the connecting between the servers, right? We run ssh keygen command, copy the public key, and we add it in the authorized hyphen keys key of this, and it provides some set of commands that we need to run to connect to the node to the master. Remember that, right? The slave, node, slave, and agent, we call it as. And that configuration we do it in nodes, right? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also under security, so we go here under security, we secure the Jenkins. Under security, we wanted to secure it. So how do we secure? We go here under security realm. So we select Jenkins own user data. Okay, and here we go under authorization. Under authorization we go with the matrix to be security. Okay, so this matrix to be security will provide the matrix to add the user. Suppose if the user wants to get an overall access, see here you can see the sections, right? Overall, credentials, agent, job, run, view, and then SCM, then metrics. Okay, each section will be having read and administrator, and credentials will be having, here you can see the divided section, right? For credentials we have view, update, manage domains, delete, and create for credentials, right? So and we understood that we use the credentials to authenticate the repository of git. Okay, so why we need to configure git in Jenkins? Because we need to keep our source code in remote git. That is the reason we should authenticate it with into the Jenkins to clone the repository, right? Correct, right? That is the reason we use credentials
Yes,
to
sir.
authenticate it, and we use the same username and password for the authentication purpose of GitLab or GitHub in Jenkins, so that we are authenticating the remote into Jenkins inside to it. Okay, and then agent. So suppose if you want to add or remove an agent, slave, or node, you want to, the user should have a provision for a node, disconnect to the node, delete a node, create an agent, connect to an agent, configure to an agent, build an agent, view an agent. Okay, this is the with respect to the agent related component. And when it comes to the job, suppose user, particular user should have the workspace of a job, read, and then move, then discover, delete, create, configure, and then cancel and the build. Okay, this is related to the job. Suppose if the user wants to configure a job, we need to add user, click on add user, I'm gonna give my name only because you are not in my network. Okay, so currently I'm gonna add. So here the user comes, the username will reflect in this matrix security. Okay, suppose if you want to add other user, say like Suhas. Okay, I wanted to add you into the Jenkins. I wanted to give because it is showing in the striker one because you are not in my network.
Not in your network.
What happened?
That's what, sir. Not in your network.
Yes, not in the network, not in my network. That is the reason it is showing user not found. Suppose we all in the same network, it would have shown the name similar to my name. Okay. Suppose if I want to give the access to the Suhas user to run, okay, there are sections here, right? Overall, gen credentials, agent, job, run, view, ACM, and metric. Suppose if I want to give an agent configuration to create it, I'll have to enable it. Okay, and only you can create an agent, you cannot delete it. Okay, because I have enabled for the user as Suhas to create an agent. Okay, and similarly I wanted to provide an access to the user as Suhas user to create the job, configure the job, and to build the job. Okay, and if I disabled here, he cannot delete it. If you want to delete, I'll have to enable it. Okay, so and similarly the user should create an credentials, right? How, where do I need to enable? Under create section, under credentials section, I'll have to provide an access to delete and create. Okay, he can able to create it and he can able to delete it. Okay, we are, so that we are restricting particular access level in the Jenkins under matrix based security. Okay, you getting my point? And suppose if the user, say like Sandeep, wants to run the job, I'll have to just enable this update and I'll have to enable it delete. Okay, and create. So only this user will be able to access, run the job and update the job and to create means view the job. Okay, and he cannot, this user cannot create a credentials, this user cannot create an agent, cannot run the job. Only he can run, only he can run the pipelines. That's it. He cannot configure it, and he doesn't have the overall access here, right? So this is what we do the matrix to be security to secure a Jenkins. Because suppose if you're in a large project, the huge project, the users, particular user should have only the particular access level. Because if suddenly someone comes and suppose if we give an overall administrator access to this user, he can create a credentials, he can create agent, create job, create run, view, ACM and metric section. Okay, and he can do overall activity. Okay, but suppose if the user is did some mistake in Jenkins, your complete infrastructure will be gone case. That is the reason we secure it as an admin, right? And Sohas needs only these credentials access, agent access and jobs access, and the run level will keep this. That's it. Suppose if you want to remove the user, here we have a button called remove entries. The user will be removed it. Okay, and here you can see the user and group access level. Clear? Clear for
Yes,
everybody?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions and any doubts on this? Anybody has any questions related to the secure Jenkins? And similarly we also have this is related to the, this is related to the security, means securing the Jenkins. Okay, suppose when I go back to the manage Jenkins, let's leave this page. Again, I'll go to the manage Jenkins. So under security, you will secure Jenkins. Secure Jenkins define who is allowed to access, use the system, right? So in each section, you will see this security. Okay, and credentials, we use credentials to authenticate the repository, and we create the credentials by username and password, by passing the key, by passing the token, right? By passing the secret file. Correct? Okay. Now, if I want to create some variables for the complete project, okay, so where do we go? We go manage Jenkins. go to configure page of Jenkins. So somewhere we see configure page. Okay, so we go under here system. Under the system, we have global properties. Again, it got stuck. So did you guys face the same issue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
run that new IP address.
Yeah. So once you stop and restart your terminal, so it will get updated, right? Okay, we'll see. Global properties. And for securing Jenkins, we use matrix-based security. That you understood, right? Now the pages get opened. Control F. I'm going to search global. Here under global properties. Under global properties, suppose if this Jenkins is using multiple project for multiple users, we go under global properties, under manage Jenkins, under system itself, we go here, we click on the environment variables. Here we're going to add the variable, click on the add variable, give the variable name, sorry, variable name will be environment and the value will be dev. Okay, click save, so that your environment is set for the environment is dev. Okay, similar to the script, in the shell script we use, we define some variables, right? Environment dev, or the file is equal to dollar file, or the directory is equal to dollar directory. Similarly in Jenkins we set a variable under global properties under environment variables. So this we're gonna make use in the Jenkins file. Okay, this is completely on the administrator level, administrator level of configuration of Jenkins. Okay, it is still buffering for me. Okay, any questions and any doubts on these topics? Matrix based security and adding a variable in Jenkins. Any questions and any doubts, guys? Any doubt?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
And if you log in Jenkins user right now, so which user? We can't see in that user, right?
Where you can't see the user?
In user list, you added Suhas.
Hmm.
In that, the current user is not. We can't see. No?
No, not the current user. You are already the user to the Jenkins, right?
Yeah, even the
Sandeep.
current user has permission, right? What
Hmm.
he has a complete permission.
Hmm.
So even user name itself is not existing.
No, 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 no. See, the user is already having complete permission. Okay. Suppose if you want to provide the users to the particular user to the particular access, you can provide the username. For that, you can configure accordingly. Okay. Let's go to manage Jenkins under security. So I will be having complete admin access. Okay. Suppose if your name is in under my network, so you will be get added to that. Okay. But I will be having complete default access, the admin access, and it will be applicable for same you as well in your case. Clear?
Yeah, okay.
Any question again? Okay, it started buffering. Okay, we select authorization matrix to be security, and here you are asking, right, where it went. So I will be having complete authority to provide an access to you. Okay, so this is the default access will get an user, means in my case. Okay, I will be having complete access to provide an permission to others as well. Okay, it will not show my access here. Getting my point?
Okay, and what about this
What happened?
author? The now the two users are present, right? Here.
There are no users.
What did you showing these names, right?
No, these are not the users. The user, you need to add it here. Anonymous means the internal user means it's me only. Those are not the users and
Okay,
authenticated users. This will provide a matrix for the checkbox for the user that we added in my network. This is
okay.
basically
If
an
we
external. When you purchase a
okay,
domain for Jenkins, so your access will automatically come here. See, this IP will get changed for every login, right? Means this is not even having a static, right?
yeah,
So your access will come automatically here. So you means that means you will be having complete access.
okay.
Yes.
Their group is there, right? Oh, which groups are that? Like add group is there.
Yes. Suppose if you want to add the group, you click on the group name. Suppose if you want to add the Docker group, we will add the group as Docker and also the complete group. Okay, that group will be having some list of users. When we provide an agent creation, this Docker group will be having a list of users can be able to create an agent.
Okay,
Similar to users as well. Clear?
please.
Yes. Any questions? Any doubts again? Okay. So if no questions, let's wind up the session. I'll share this in the group for the security, securing the Jenkins and the variable creation. Okay. Go through that. Prepare the prepare for a mock, and you should by the time you should complete all the assignment. Okay. Anybody has any questions and any doubts?
Sir? Hello, sir.
Yes.
Why it is not allowing you to add the users?
Where is not allowing me to add the user?
Like, Suhas you added, no, sir, before.
Hmm.
It is not created, no, sir, no.
It is
Because
created. I told na he is not in my network.
how to add that person in your network, sir?
See this user. See our where our Jenkins we installed
In this one, sir.
in
Uh,
AWS, right?
AWS, sir. Yes, sir.
Then go under IAM, Identity Access Management. This we will cover in AWS. So the
Okay.
user group and access. Okay. Here we have a concept called IAM, Identity Access Management. So there we provide the username, and this is our complete infrastructure is hosted in our AWS cloud, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we created an instance. Inside this instance, we configured our Jenkins. So once we stop this instance, your Jenkins dashboard will be down. So our complete infra is hosted in our AWS.
Yes, sir.
Right? So here we provide the user access level. We call it as IAM, manage access to AWS resources. Okay. So here we go. And here we provide the users, each user. Okay, user group. Here you see users, right?
Yes, sir.
Here we provide create user, and we need to provide the user access to the console. And there are some set of configuration that we need to do. So here we need to add.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Let's try this. Okay. The user created successfully, and this user when I added this in Jenkins, they should be get added, and also we need to add the particular group because normally when we join the project, there are some set of group Docker groups, Kubernetes groups, infrastructure groups. and we comes under some particular groups, right? That we need to configure in Jenkins to the group. And when you provide this username and or the group, so you will see this into the in a proper name. Okay, because this access level is only for me, only for the user called Bhargav, right? So he should be an admin, he should add the user, and he should provide the access to the Jenkins. Clear? Madhumati,
Yes, sir. Great.
any questions from anybody?
Sudhir, I have one doubt.
Hmm.
Whenever we stop and start, we'll get a new IP, right? So can we make it as only one? We'll give to some developer to integrate, right? So if we again off and like stop and start, it will change. So we will give that new IP address to him, or we'll make it as one stack.
We have a concept called elastic IP in
Okay.
the platform. Here we have elastic IPs. Okay, so you
Okay.
can create this and keep only one IP for every login. But when you create this elastic IP, na, your free instances, your free trial will get expired sooner.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, normally will not suggest for the candidates for the resource to use this elastic IP. For the trial and error, you can configure elastic IP for the particular instance that you created. That IP will be static
Okay.
always. For every login, it will be always same. But for 10 minutes of elastic IP, if it is running, your free trial will be expired sooner. Suppose if you create elastic IP at 1 o'clock, and if you consume this elastic IP for 1 hour, whatever you have, your 64 hours from AWS for free trial for only for 2 rupee, that will get
Okay.
expired sooner until and uh, work with all the tools. We
Okay.
cannot
Okay.
work with the tools. Okay, so this
Okay.
consumes the free trial. Okay,
Okay. So.
you can
Okay.
create elastic IP for the understanding purpose, and you can delete it later.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
and in the organization will not log in the Jenkins through not the IP address. We will be having dedicated DNS to be purchased, and through that Jenkins only we'll log in that. No worries on that.
Okay. So they got it. Thank you.
Yes. Any questions? Another questions? Idea doubt idea? Those who are not able to understand Kannada can ask a question. Okay, if no questions, let's wind up the session. So I'll share this securing Jenkins and adding a variable in the group. Okay.
Okay, Sandeep, thank you.